Good afternoon, friends, followers, channel members. Hope you're all doing well. It's been a long time since I've been able to see you all in an afternoon, but obviously we've got something a little bit different to do today. We are showcasing the pre-release version of the IniBuilds Airbus A340-300. Sat here obviously in a Swiss livery. We're only going to be doing a short flight as we test it out, but it gives us a chance to spend a bit of time here on the ground and things like that, have a look around it and get to know it. What's so special or what's not so special about this aircraft. Funnily enough, we are going to be looking at doing a flight that Swissair did do in real life. It's about half an hour as they flew it from, where was it? It's Zurich. Yeah, Zurich to Geneva. Which is not very far. It doesn't even leave the country, but that's what we're going to be doing. So yeah, not a long flight, but plenty of time. Doesn't mean it's going to be a short stream, but plenty of time just to enjoy this aircraft and see what it looks like. This aircraft is probably one of the most hated aircraft by commercial pilots and air traffic controllers as well, because it is so underpowered, which brings its own challenges as well. And I've already seen some of the comments as well. Lots of people are like, what is the point of it? Because we obviously have the A350. No, we do have the A350, but back then when this was launched we had the A330. So what was the point of the A340? Well, the whole point was ETOPS. Back then in the 80s, 90s, when ETOPS ratings weren't what they are today, there was a big difference between 2 engines and 4 engines, where you could and where you couldn't fly. So suddenly when we got 4 engines, this meant that the aircraft could fly routes that were more efficient. They didn't have to stay near land, because if one engine went bang, doesn't matter, we've got another 3. Whereas on the A330, if one went bang, then they needed to be within a couple of hours of land or so. So yeah, that is why this was developed. Mark saying those engines look ridiculous on those things. Yeah, they are. Well, there was an issue with the engines originally, they were meant to have a different engine. The 330, the 340. It was meant to have a different engine, like a super engine or something. But that all fell through, and what we ended up with was effectively 4 A320 engines, and you're right, they look ridiculous. So these are like little IE engines that you'd find on more commonly on the A320 family, but there's 4 of them. That then brings its challenges, because it is so underpowered with these things. It means that tail strike on takeoff is a real risk. You can't over rotate this thing. It doesn't lift very well because it doesn't have the power. It doesn't climb very well because of its wings and things. It's an absolute pain to taxi, and yeah, it's just an aircraft nobody likes. Which is awful, but it's got a place, and we'll get inside the cabin in a minute. And I'm very impressed with the cabin, because well, as you'll see, it's kind of a mix, this, between sort of A310 and A330. So with the CRT screens, which is really nice, we'll check those out. We'll have a little play, we'll have a look around as well. So yeah, it's why I didn't want to do a long flight, because it'd take me hours just to climb up there. I think our flight today, we're only going to climb up to about 18,000 feet because it is so short. I'm not even sure we'll make 18,000 feet in the time we need to get to our top of descent. Robert says it doesn't sound like it's got much going for it. Do you know, Robert, it is one of those aircraft that is different, and we'll obviously find today just how well IniBuilds have put it together. I mean, look at the main landing gear as well. I mean, what is that? There's an extra one down in the middle. Look, you can see that. I've got some aircraft behind me. I hope it's not too loud. I don't know where it is. I can hear it. I can't actually see it. It's not my APU or anything because this thing is shut down, so we'll obviously want to have a listen to the sounds as well. Jacko says, I've got a secret feeling I like it. I like a lot of commercial jets, even if they're not popular. And the strange thing is as well, you kind of have to think of this as it was built because the airlines demanded it because of the ETOPS thing. They demanded it, and if you put together the A330s and the A340s, if you bundle them both as one, they actually sold more than the 777s. So was it a success? Was it a failure? I'll let you guys make up your own mind. A lot of these now are turned into cargo aircraft. There's a fantastic A340 cargo route that flies into Cardiff, isn't there, here in the UK, from China. And I've forgotten the name of the airline that does it. That'll come to me, or someone in the chat will let me know. Yeah, that's probably its next lease of life, passenger to freight conversions, and those have also been included in this release as well. Just before we go any further, this is a pre-release, which means what you're seeing here on screen is not the final product. So if there is anything that we sort of spark artwork, stuff like that, then don't worry, I'm sure it will be fixed prior to that. So yeah, we're going to go and have a look. As I say, I've got a decent amount of time for our flight today, but obviously this sort of aircraft it's long haul aircraft, so I'm going to do a very short haul route, but I'm not going to skimp out on anything. Let's just sort of see if we can have a look on the sort of the outside, that outside mode, which of course we now have in Flight Sim 2024. With the walk around, they have put a lot of detail into this, as you can see. Now it is going to be available originally when it's released. I think it's only on Marketplace, isn't it? So Marketplace to begin with, and then eventually it'll obviously come to sort of like the IniBuilds store and stuff like that. Things like the tyres, you're going to have to keep an eye on them because they will wear down. They've done a lot of the same sort of things that they have done with the A350, in that maintenance is obviously a big thing. How they've done the maintenance, I'm not entirely sure, because it's an older aircraft. It probably needs maintaining that a little bit more, doesn't it? But in terms of what it looks like and the liveries that we've got available, I'm just trying to think, what have we got? I think we've got Swissair, we've obviously got Lufthansa as well, because Lufthansa fly these quite regularly. See them going over the top of my house on a daily basis. So we've got Lufthansa, we've got Swissair, I think Emirates is in there as well. Scandinavian, I believe, will be coming. There are others, so if you know about those, then let me know or ask, and I'm sure it'll jog my memory as to whether they're there and that. So yeah, we've also got systems failures have been simulated as well. Not all of them, it'll be updated, but again, I think just like the A350, there are certain ones that are available. The Bird Strike, for example, I think we'll go and have a look at the EFB. But yeah, in terms of what it looks like, I think it's great, isn't it? I can't really fault the external model. Looks good. Virgin did used to have them, Jacko. Yeah, I can't actually remember if that's included. But yeah, it looks great. We're going to have a look at the cabin as well, but I know you're probably all anxious to have a look at the inside and see what that looks like. But yeah, can't complain on what it looks like here from the outside. So if we're all happy with that, then we'll go and have a look. Now, there's nothing I need to do out here, anything daft like pitos or chocks. I think I've removed the chocks before we start the stream anyway, just because I knew I'd forget about it if not. Full GSX integration as well, that's all sorted. I've been in and set that up. So let's jump in and let's have a little look around the flight deck, and you can tell me what you think. And yeah, I think South African are done, yeah. So this is what I mean by it's old school but new at the same time. So have a look, we've got sort of CRT screens, and yeah, look at that. The old-fashioned ball, which, why does that not work? Oh, I have to power that. I might have to power that up. It'll be locked, which we'll do that in a moment. So I'll just zoom in on there. You can see it's actually, they've gone to quite a bit. I've not turned it on yet. I've just noticed that they do look quite detailed. But yeah, and I do love the old look screens, because it is. When I first loaded it in, I thought I'd picked the wrong aircraft. I thought I picked like an A310 or something, but actually no, of course it is not. We have got the modern MCDU and modern radios, well, old school A320 style radios, not the newer radios. And obviously, yeah, you've got four engines. That is something that you'll obviously have to set up as well if you're just using your Airbus Thrustmaster captain pack. If you've only got the 2 thrust levers, then you will need to go and set engines 1 and 2 to combine that axis, and 3 and 4 to combine the second axis, that kind of thing. But I think, looking at this, they've actually done a really neat job. We'll go through the EFB as well in a couple of minutes. So that's nice. The overhead is obviously an A340 overhead. It's not sort of hijacked and just chucked in from anywhere else. So nice to see. We'll power her up in a minute. Let's go and have a look at the cabin. I've not actually looked at the cabin, so we're going to be doing that for the first time together now. Let's have a look. Let's get out. So we should have a Swissair feel to this. It's a shame I can't speed up the moving through the cabin kind of walk speed, but there we are. So obviously got the galley. Apparently there's a hot spot up there. I don't know what that does. We'll get the doors open soon. I actually don't know how much it is, Luna. I'm afraid. Jacko, do the windows open? Remind me in a minute, and we'll have a look. This may be at the moment just a default cabin. Perhaps livery cabins will come a little bit later on. 'Cause I don't see any reference to Swissair in here, so yeah, that's probably a little bit later on. But again, it's for those of you who like spending time in the cabin, nothing wrong with this. It makes use of the new FlightSim 2024 LOD systems, so it's trying to balance performance with the visuals as well. In fact, Christian, yes, it'll be a Wi-Fi hotspot. So Wi-Fi is optional. You can turn it on, you can turn it off in the EFB. I don't know if turning it off removes those stickers though. That would be kind of good if it would. Hang on, I've got stuck. Why can't I walk through? Oh, there we go. There's an invisible barrier there. I really need to speed up being able to walk. Someone's going to ask me if the toilet door's open. No, they don't. Although the curtains close, as you can see. I'm stuck again. Why can't I walk through there? Oh, there we are. Nope, stuck again. Oh well, that's economy. We don't want to go in economy. But yeah, I'm sure you'll agree. It's all right, isn't it? Nothing wrong with that. What I might do is, whilst I'm here, we might just go and set up a window seat. Christian says nothing to do with the invisible walls. It's just I'm a fat pilot. Well, you know, if you sat down on those long hauls for so long. How close can we get to the windows for those window views? Oh, actually, that's really good. Some aircraft you can't get too close to the windows, which is a bit of a pain. But that actually, that's all right. I quite like that. So yeah, you need to go through, set up some custom views. I'll just nip over to the other side just while I'm here. Oh no, I won't, because I'm too fat. I can't fit. Ah, come on. No, I actually am too fat. I can't walk through there. Oh yeah, no, I'm managing to squeeze my way through. So we're going to take this as well for its first flight, and I am doing it on VATSIM as well. I'm happy enough to do this on VATSIM just because at the end of the day, it is an Airbus. So there's nothing too scary about it. Right, let's jump back in and have a look. So we're all powered off at the minute. Let's go through the EFB, take you through that and have a little look at what that's like. So obviously you've got your flight planner. If you use Navigraph and you've got that linked up, I don't think I have got that linked up at the minute, but with that as well you can generate your plans, stuff like that. So that's really nice. I think this is probably the best EFB IniBuilds have built in any of their aircraft. So that's kind of cool. My flight will bring that in a minute, of course. Fuel and your payload, this can all be done from GSX, instant load, or with GSX, so we'll check that out in a couple of minutes. Ground equipment, there we are. We've obviously got the doors, and we can sort of toggle these on and off if you don't want to do the full walk around, that kind of stuff. If you're not using GSX, there's a pushback built in as well. Now you can obviously change the amount of dirt, weathering, snow accumulation, of course, because Highfly, that's one of the other and that's one of the other liveries included. Highfly, who famously landed the A340, didn't they, in the was it the Antarctic, and you meant to be able to do that with this aircraft as well. So so yeah, that's another challenge for anyone that anybody that fancies it. So GSX integration, I've got all this turned on, not got the service notifications turned on, not bothered about that, but leave these to auto. It's just much easier, and as you can see, my GSX is actually out of date. I wasn't going to update that because that always takes forever. Operational flight plan, so that's from SimBrief. Takeoff, landing, we'll do that as well. Charts, so this, because it's Microsoft Flight Sim 24, by default you use the inbuilt Microsoft Flight Sim 24 Lido charts, which I like because, you know, EasyJet use those anyway. So yeah, we've got those, and I do like this, but you can switch them to the Jeppesen charts if you've got a Navigraph subscription. We are parked as well, just for information. We are parked down here on the Charlie stands. We're stand Charlie 55 today, so we're going to be departing 28, so we're going to taxi sort of up here around there and off 28. So we'll see how it handles throughout these turns. Make sure we don't clip wings with anybody. En route map as well. This is nice because I'm not quite sure what map it's using, but as you can see, it's nice and detailed. So will we use that for taxiing? Probably not. Although you might be able to. It's all right, isn't it? And we can zoom out, zoom in, etc. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Maintenance, this is a big thing as well. So if you're flying this aircraft regularly, then locked to the livery, you've got maintenance to look after. So as you can see, we've got the tyres that need replacing, brakes, we need to service the APU, engines, hydraulics, maintenance pals as well, so the cowls, we need to stow the rat if that's been out for whatever. So yeah, that's pretty neat. Failures and situations, I'm not going to bother with those today. But GPS jamming is built into this, so as you can see there, active will immediately enable the GPS jamming, where if you set it to real world, depending on the position of where GPS jamming is basically reported in the real world, then that could happen. So we've got bird strikes, although start situations actually grayed out at the minute, that might be available on release. And then obviously we've got these failures here as well that we can choose. Not a lot, but it's getting better and better, isn't it? So I'm sure more will be added in time. What else we got? Auto save, yeah, so it will save the flight as well, so you know, in case of crash the desktops, that kind of stuff. Throttle calibration, so yeah, you will need to make sure that in Microsoft Flight Simulator's control settings, depending on what throttle you're using, if you've only got 2 axes, then 1 and 2 need to be axis 1 needs to be bound to engines 1 and 2, and axis 2 will need to be bound to 3 and 4. I could only get this to work if I actually set 4 axes on there, which is a bit confusing, because I've got 2 axes in real life, but I've actually, see, that works. So that's my axis 1 and 2, that's my axis 3 and 4, so they're all working, and sort of calibrating that is pretty self-explanatory, so that's fine. And then obviously just settings, and that is, as you would imagine, all self-explanatory. I've gone through the call-outs. I don't want every one of these call-outs turned on, that'd be annoying. Hoppies and ACARs, that is available, or if you're using Hoppies, or if you're using, say, intentions, obviously get your SimBrief user ID in there as well. And this is where you can use Navigraph charts instead if you're all linked together. I've left that for now, but yeah, so I I quite like it, the EFB. The EFB is very good. So if we have a look now then at if we go to our flight, we should be able to import that from SimBrief. There it is. Okay, so that's our flight today. Very short flight. As I say, it's Zurich to Geneva, not long at all. If you view the flight plan, and then that is essentially just almost like the PDF then of your operational flight plan, which we'll go through in a bit. I'm not doing this as a real ops flight, it's not that kind of stream, but just have a quick look. Yeah, so we are cruising 180, not very high. Not that this aircraft likes to climb very well anyway. I'm not even sure we're going to get that high, to be honest. So grid moors are fine. The weather's fine going into Geneva. We've got alternates of back here at Zurich, Charles de Gaulle, Milan and Lyon. Got that takeoff data there as well. We don't actually need that. You do have to click and drag that, so that's a bit of a pain. What's the weather doing in Geneva? Variable, and visibility is fine. Few clouds, 8,000 feet. So yeah, not worried about that at all. Not going to bother with NOTAMs or anything. And just have a look at. Oh, they could do with a better scrolling system on that. I'm getting RSI in my hand. That's the weather, so there's the route. Yeah, nice internal route. Domestic. Literally, we almost don't even need to change heading, do we? We're straight out and then that's it. Paul, how is performance? Performance is very good. I don't have the most powerful PC running, but I'm sure you can see that performance doesn't seem to be suffering. We're on VATSIM as well, so there's other aircraft knocking about. So, yeah, that's your lot. What fuel are we loading? Let's have a quick look. So we will load the fuel that's been suggested, which is 10420. Okay, let's power our aircraft up then, and have a little listen to that. So we've got ground power available at the moment, and we'll do the same thing we always do, just because it's good practice. So I just want to check spoilers, flaps, that's fine. Parking brake is on. Transponder is off at the minute. Acupressure is in the green. Okay, right, landing gear is down. You'd want to check your wipers are set to off, which they are. And okay, let's power up. So we'll get battery number 1, battery number 2, and of course then external A, external B, and you can see us slowly starting to come to life. Now I've got her in cold and dark, so we'll have to align the gears as well. You can change the speed at which you want that to happen. It can either be instant, or it can be quick, or it can be real time. I've got it set to real time, which is about 7 minutes, which is fine. Okay, so overhead is now lit up, and our screens should be self-testing. Can we pull that out now? There we are. Let that fall. Oh, I like the flash. See that? It's not just straight on there. There's a CRT flash that came in just there. That's nice. And lots of in-ops systems at the minute. Makes sense. Hey Jordan, good to see you. So yeah, I like that. Okay, I'll just go and do the usual Airbusy stuff. So crew supply, we'll get that on. Change that to captain. And then we want nav. Nav lights there on. Leave seatbelt signs off for now. Get the emergency lights, no smoking, to auto. We'll just turn those down a little bit. Oh, leave that to auto. Those on, obviously. APU battery, that can come on. And we leave the fueling tanks off just until refueling is completed. I don't know if that is a 340 thing, 320 thing in some airlines. So just like that. Hey Sean, yeah, Storm Amy. Maybe I should try and land this thing up in Ireland somewhere. So that's interesting. How they've closed all the schools up there as well, haven't they, at the moment, to send them home for safety reasons. Sure, the teachers will be thrilled. Okay, so let's get a little bit of GSX working for us then, starting with some refueling. So if we now go to payload and fueling, let's import all from SimBrief. So just check that's the plan, planned payload, planned fuel, planned takeoff weight. Okay, we don't want to do instant load, let's load with GSX. So requesting GSX to apply the SimBrief load. Now I don't know if that starts GSX. No, I think we actually have to go to have a look at fueling, and then I think if we go to GSX options, GSX menu is not available. Oh, why is the menu not available? Oh, has GSX crashed? Oh, I hope it hasn't. I had this working earlier on before we started the stream, so that'd be really annoying if it hasn't. Shall I see if I can restart it? Hold on, ooh, it says it's all working there. Let's just try using the GSX menu, see if that is going to work. Let's request refueling, see what happens. If not, oh, hang on. What? Okay, well, unless the menu is not available because we've already told it what we want it to do. Let's have a quick look back at the payload. Yeah, so I just want it to be loaded. Requesting GSX to apply the SimBrief load. Don't know. I'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll have a look at that whilst everything's setting up. But yeah. Interesting, I had that working not long ago. It doesn't seem to want to bring the menu up. Oh, I'll press request boarding there as well, see what happens. It does need updating, GlideSlope, you are quite right. However, I did have it working previously, so I don't think the update actually breaks this if it's not there. So, never mind. But, I don't know. The stairs are doing something now, aren't they? So we'll keep an eye on that and see if we get some refueling. Let's have a quick look outside. Have we got any refueling trucks there yet? Not yet, but we'll keep an eye on it. Okay, so let's go and look through the box and see how they've done this. We should all be familiar with this as well. So ACARS is the only option on the menu that's there, and out of that we've got ATIS. So I don't actually think we've got any ATC here in Zurich at the moment. So no, we've not. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Attach the tug now. No, don't do that. So ATIS, VATSIM, IVAO, Pilot Edge. So you've got the choice there, except we're not going to get any of that because there's no ATC here. Okay, well that's fine. If I go over here, I can probably get the weather on the My Flight page. Yeah, there we are. And as you can see, actually, it's what weather? It's variable and block fuel from SimBrief. Variable, cav OK, 11 degrees, and QNH is 1021. So go through, set that up. And do that down here, 1021. We'll set up the box in a moment, check the usual stuff. So we want this to be on the guard frequency, and I believe all of these will be saved depending on your livery. These do not scroll very fast. I'm not using any hardware as well for oh, that's interesting. What's going on there? Oh, there we are. Yeah, so for this stream as well today, I'm using zero hardware. I literally want to fly this dry, if you like, in its vanilla state. I've obviously just got my Thrustmaster side stick, and I've got my Thrustmaster throttle flaps quadrant thing. That is the only hardware I'm using, so I'm not using any of the iPad chart. I'm not using my iPad for the charts. I'm not using any of my Wingflex hardware, McDo, radio box, or anything like that, just because the profiles wouldn't be available yet anyway. So yeah, Christian says air traffic control will automatically disappear once they see an A340. It's a feature. ATC hate it because of the performance of it. So just check IRS. That should still be aligning, which it is. Aircraft status then. So CFM engines, yeah, baby engines. that nav date doesn't look correct. I have updated the nav database as well, so not sure why it's using an old one, but never mind. Again, remember, this is a pre-release version of the aircraft, so it's might not be fully compliant just yet. Hey Rail Cowgirl, good evening to you. Hope you, or good afternoon. I'm so used to saying evening, it's afternoon. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. We are flying it very dry. Hey Relic, good to see you as well. Alright, so well, we'll just leave that for now. Might mean my flight plan won't work, because I bet Salt Pre is still in the database for this, and the new one might not be. We'll find out in a moment. I've got some cabin crew. Hey guys, are you ready to start boarding? Sorry, I don't know your name. Yeah, I can't remember if I've got a cabin crew or who the cabin crew is today. You'll have to let me know if he's there.
Oh yes, Captain. We're all set to start boarding. Cabin crew, let's get ready to welcome our passengers aboard.
He didn't want to tell me his name. That's fine.
Welcome aboard Swiss flight 2802, departing from Zurich to Geneva. We are thrilled to have you with us today.
There we go. That all imports nicely. Let's get the operational flight plan on here then.
Celsius, with no clouds in sight. Enjoy your flight. 42686. So we'll just update that. We'll get the winds. Get those downloaded. Oh, Rachel, you did you passed your skill test for the PPL. That is amazing, and you're now a certified pilot. Oh, congratulations! You'll need a new channel then soon, won't you? Air Cow Girl, so something similar. But that is fantastic. Congratulations. That was a great feeling. Okay, Iris in it, that's all lined and looking like they all agree. It's imported the cost index. It's got a very low flight level today as well. So if we're in the clouds, it's going to need anti-ice. Okay, let's have a look at our flight plan. So let me just grab this up. I'm going to have to put this up on my second screen so I can see it, because I've not got my tablet linked. So we are departing on 28. And it's the verb to 4 whiskey. Let's get that inserted, and then we're going to be arriving ILS 22, coming in on the Ulmes 2 Romeo today, and the veer is Saper. Oh, it has got Saper in there. Okay, that works. Yeah, so look at that distance, 125 miles. Operational flight plan's got 126, so I'm happy that all of that is in agreement. GPS primary has now just come up as well. Alright, so happy with that. RadNav page, I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to be too bothered with that. Alright, let's have a look at the InitB page. Now, we could cheat, I think, and just press the button. Let's see if we can actually get those details, though, as though we were doing it properly. Let's have a look. Zero fuel weight, C of G. Yeah, I am aware that Swissair technically went bankrupt, and Swissair then changed its name. It's now Swiss. They dropped the air, and it's a whole new company. We're not splitting hairs that much. So let's. We'll probably be in here, right? Oh, GSX I think is working. Have we got passengers boarding? We've got passengers and luggage boarding, and this is one of the stands they actually use for the A340. In fact, they used this stand today. I saw it on Flight Radar 24, so I mean, that looks pretty cool, don't we think? I mean, we could just sit and watch boarding. I'm quite. Well, should we just sit, chat, and watch this? I think that's awesome. Jackie, you want me to try the windows? Yeah, will do. Have they got the hold open? I'm curious as to what they've done with the hold, if anything. It's suddenly gone very quiet when I get in here, which is quite nice. Cool. You see, it is details like this. The Phoenix do stuff like this.
I love seeing little things like this, because can you ever imagine a time back when I grew up playing Flight Sim 95, 98, 2000, etc., that you get this kind of detail in there? So yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. Sorry, let me out. I'm gonna hop down. So yeah, it's awesome. And we've got our GSX passengers boarding nicely on this remote stand here in Zurich. Love that. Colin, don't joke about that. That actually happened, didn't it? I don't think it was that long ago. It wasn't the pilot. It was a member of the ground crew got locked in the hold, and I can't remember if he survived or not. It wasn't until like ages later they noticed that he wasn't where he should be. They were probably all thinking he was skiving off, and the poor guy ended up getting locked in the luggage hold. So yeah, right. Let's jump back in. Windows. Who want me to do the windows? Right. In order to do the windows, I would need to presumably. Oh, there we go. The windows do indeed open. Who wanted to know that? Was it Jacko? Yeah. Now I've got to close the darn thing. Oh, actually, you don't have to click and drag. It's literally just a click thing. So that's nice. Nice. Alright, so let's go back to setting up my box for the flight. Zero fuel weight, etc. That's what we were looking at, isn't it? So we should have that down here. We've got the live and we've got the plan. So our zero fuel weight C of G is going to be 28.87. I'll call it 28.9. That's not zero fuel weight CFG. I put this in the wrong way around. Hang on. Zero fuel weight today should be 152. I'm thinking that's very low. It's a bit A320 weightish. 152.0 is our zero fuel weight, and that CFG, because I forgot to write it down, was 28.9. Now, can I alter the alternate? Alternate is about 4 ton. I can't enter that. Oh, I can. I can. That's fine. Okay, let's do the fuel planning and see what it says. Just whilst that's calculating, let me just scribble these figures down so I don't have to keep looking. So we've got 28.9, and the takeoff CFG should be 27.8, which is important, of course, for our trim. And it is actually telling us now cargo 83%, and it told us how many people were up there as well, so that is working. I'm not quite sure why the menu wasn't working, but never mind. I have had that working though prior to stream, so that's not a bug with this aircraft per se. Mr. Victoria, thanks for dropping in. Hope to see you again soon. The optimization seems to be fine, Ramjam FM, so I can't say anything bad about that. Right, our fuel has now been boarded, and we're taking 10.4 tons. In fact, what was it? 10.4 tons. So we will update that. Let it figure everything out. So all that extra fuel gives us an extra 13 minutes of flying time. Now the trip wind is actually, according to the flight plan, it's a headwind of 2. That's not updated, so we're going to have to pop that in manually. Not sure that's going to affect too many things. Oh, it gives an extra 15 minutes of flying time. So that gives then a takeoff weight of 161.8. My operational flight plan, because this also comes with a sim brief profile as well. I do have the sim brief profile for this, so I'm sure that'll be released and made available on sim brief when the aircraft drops. Yeah, my takeoff weight is planned to be 161.8. Yeah, that matches up. So
That's really cool. Okay, so all that's done, Let's do our performance calculations then. So armed with all that info, let's have a look. Last few passengers. We've got our takeoff performance then. So we will sync the weather because it's quicker. We are going to sync the FMGS just because it's quicker. Off runway 28. That's correct. That's a full length takeoff. Yeah, we're not going to bother with an intersection takeoff. Not with this aircraft because it doesn't actually like to fly anyway, does it? So there you are. And 460 mate, thank you so much for your tier 1 sub. That is incredible support. Thank you so much for that. Says, don't know how I feel about the first few months being the marketplace only. Will only buy once it comes to the IniBuilds store. A lot of people are saying that. Obviously, if you want to help support us as well when purchasing via the IniBuilds store, when that time comes, there's a link in the video description down below. It is an affiliate link, so that really helps us out. So a massive thanks for supporting us there. Alright, so they are all correct. That takeoff weight is not correct. Our takeoff weight is 1618, so I'm going to update that. 161. In fact, we'll just go there, 1619, just to be conservative. We'll do a flaps 2 departure today. I don't know what the norm is, but as I say, this aircraft doesn't like to fly at the best of times, so we're going to go flaps 2. Packs will remain on, anti-ice will be off, force toga off, so let's calculate that. And there we are, so that's our speed. So we've got 28, 30, 38. Let's put those in. 128, 130, and 138. I've just noticed as well we do have independent McDo's, so that's quite nice. The flex was what, 53, which is very low. Of course it's low for these baby engines. And oh, why have I put takeoff shift in? Get rid. 53 and flaps 2. We're going to leave thrust reduction, acceleration, engine out, all of that as is. I think it might be a noise abatement 1 here, if memory serves. I will leave it as is for now. We'll break some rules, and that's fine. Elliot Woodford, good afternoon. Are you not in the middle of a radio show, Elliot? Okay, so that's all set. That's done. One thing I will do, just because we don't have a lot of flight time, so we do need to prepare the landing before we go anywhere. Let's have a look at the landing distance calculation then. So let's have a look. We will sync the weather conditions to where we're landing. Lima. Oh, come on. Try again. You can use your keyboard actually. Right. Lima Sierra Zulu. Lima Sierra Golf Golf. Yeah, Geneva. Yeah, so when you're using your keyboard as well, it doesn't affect your aircraft and hotkeys and things because, as you can see here, it is actually disabled. So that's good. We're going to be landing on... Go away. We're going to be landing on runway 22. Can I sync SimBrief with that? That might work. So our landing weight is estimated to be 1588. That'll do. And just check if we compute all that. I'm not going to add any extra wind and speed. Let's get the weather as is. And landing technique will of course be manual. Auto brake low. Okay, compute. Let's see if we can land. So yeah, we've got loads of space to land, so that's fine. No problem, Elliot. Hope to see you again next time. Alright, so that's done as well. Next thing I'm going to do, again because it's a short flight, as we usually do with short flights, is we're going to go to the next phase. Next phase. Next phase. And we're going to get all the information in for our arrival. Now, I am just going to double check. Is this the correct METAR information for Geneva? Let's find out. Yeah, so it's variable 2 knots, cav OK.
let me just scribble this down. So variable 2 knots, cab OK, it's 13 degrees, QNH is 1021, pretty much the same as here. I mean, it should be, it's not exactly, it's only 100 miles away, so that's fine. Let's get all that stuff in here, 1021, because we won't have time to do this in the flight as we're enjoying the new aircraft anyway. Temperature is 13, enjoy 800 feet per minute in the climb. I mean, we might get more than that, Elliot, because we haven't got a lot of fuel on today. It's a very short flight. We're not heavily loaded, so there is a chance we might just get a little bit more. But yeah, we'll use flaps full for the landing, and let me just have a quick butchers. I will do this on the iPad in a moment, but I'm just trying to be quick. What is the barrel for the Cat 1 in Geneva? Cat 1 Geneva is 2450. Actually, I don't know what the climb gradient is of this. That will be interesting to know. I'll go 4.2%, and we will use 1570. 2450 is the climb gradient, 2.5%. So I don't think the 340 is that bad. So yeah, 1570 is the minimum. So that page is populated, and it's just one less thing we have to do. Okay, that's now all done. So let's get the APU started then. Refueling has completed, so what we can do is we can get all of these on. So they're all done. APU start. Seatbelt signs are on, and we're about ready to go then. So just wait for that. Then we'll go through the charts, set up the FCU, etc. We'll bring those up now, and let's just have a look at what we need for that. Find our departure chart.
Hey, EasyJet's pilot, boarding has started and the first passengers are aboard the plane.
The first passengers? I think you're fully boarded. Okay, so these aren't actually in any particular order, are they? So, what am I looking for? I'm looking for Vebit 4 Whiskey. Off runway 28. That's 1 X-ray. For Whiskey. There we go. So this is the chart that we need. So this is straight out, and then we have a left-hand turn. What's that? 2.3 miles from Kilo Lima Oscar. Which should be coded in anyway. Initial climb 7,000. Looking at that, no speed restrictions. We are on VATSIM, so there's a couple of things that we just need to check to make sure that we're doing that correctly. Christian, don't forget to add 0.1 CG just because of the front obese pilot. Thanks for that. Yeah, so that's done. That's interesting that that's not set for nav mode just yet. Interesting. Okay. Oh, hang on. Flight directors aren't on. That's why. There we are. Flight directors 1 and 2. Very important. Both are either on or off. I thought I'd set this 1021. So that's done. That's done. APU is up and running. Fantastic. Let's get rid of the external power. Don't need that. We'll get the APU bleed on as well. So that's on. Autopilot 1, 2 off, auto thrust off, Cat 2 in op at the moment. That's fine. I would imagine both cats are in op at the moment. We've got no engines. Right, I think we're good to go. I'm not going to go on a full brief. We know roughly where we're going. There's no speed restrictions. We're straight out.
bit of terrain to the north. MSA in our sector is 4-5, and yeah, it's a short flight. Let's get going. Oh, I've opened the window. I didn't mean to open the window. Come on, close the window. Right, let's get on to Unicom as well. 122.8. I'm just going to check that we've got no air traffic control. I don't think there's any air traffic control. No, there's not. So that's fine. We are also tracking our flight today. Ooh, have we got air traffic control? Have they just come online? Oh no, it's the approach for fried chicken. So that's fine. There's no ATC between here or Geneva actually, so we are on our own. Elvatex is tracking the flight. That could be an unfortunate click spot, Roman. Yes. Should we just fly below 10,000 feet so it's not an issue? Okay, so cockpit prep checklist then. So aircraft acceptance is completed. Fuel quantity is 10420 kilograms. Just check that that is all balanced, which it is. Seatbelt signs are on. It is. We need to check as well. We've now got 3.5 greens because they weren't earlier. There we are. And bar FQNH is 1021, which is 1,420 feet. Awesome. Yeah, Christian, it's fried chicken. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the proper word. I don't do German. Alright, so APU's running, APU bleeds on. I think we're good to go. It's all disconnected. Let's make the Unicom call then and get this bird in the air if she flies. Zurich traffic, Swissair 2802, stand Charlie 55, pushback, face north. Now, I might have to use the GSX menu. I will try again just here. Oh, it's opening here, look, isn't it? Well, that's fine. Prepare for pushback. As long as it works. So, hopefully this will disappear. Ground crew's there. Let's just check that this is set to auto, but let me just check the ground equipment. Doors all look good. In fact, why am I using that page? Doors are all closed. That's what we want. William, no, it's not available yet, mate. It's a pre-release stream. Mr. Aviation, yeah, so as an IniBuilds partner and affiliate, I get the luxury of being able to have a look at this and any of their other aircraft, same as we did with the 350, and do pre-release streams so that you guys get to see it, and also part of the dev team as well. If we find anything we think, oh, that doesn't work and stuff like that, then we're able to report back to them prior to it being released, of course. So let me get the charts up just so we know where we're going. I want the airport ground chart. There it is. Okay, so just before we release the parking brakes, we're going for full length departure because of the aircraft's performance. So we're we're going to push back. We'll taxi up on it'll be November, isn't it? Yeah, taxi up on November and Alpha. And we're going to hold at Alpha 1. Ground crew's getting impatient. So, before start checklist, parking brake is on. Takeoff data is confirmed. Just double check. Yeah, that's fine. Windows are closed. PEDs are on flight mode. Doors are closed and not yet armed. Let's get the beacon light on. And the
transponder. So doors are closed, beacon light is on, and yeah, okay. Parking brakes released. Cabin crew, arm doors and cross-check, please.
Okay, Captain. All doors in flight and cross-check.
How did that change?
Dear passengers, we are now preparing for departure.
Did I not change that to make the call on
And your seats are
Unicom a bit ago?
Thank you for
Thought we
choosing
did.
Swiss, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
I might not have done. Zurich traffic, Swissair 2802, pushing back stand Charlie 55, facing north. I've just done it again in case now.
All doors in flight and cross-check. Oh, welcome everyone on board on behalf of Swiss, the captain and the crew on this flight to Geneva. My name is Florian Eger.
Can't believe they actually flew this aircraft in real life on such a short flight.
Cabin are my wonderful colleagues, Lucas, Anna, and Marco. We expect our flight to take about 25 minutes, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Now, let's go over some important safety information. First, to fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal tip into the buckle until you hear a click. Release it.
Alright, I'm going to stop talking and we are going to listen to the engine start sound. So sanity check, APU is running, engine mode selector to ignition. I don't know the order of start sequence on the 340, but we're going to start engines number 1 and we'll start engine number 2. Let's go and have a listen. I'll be honest, that actually sounds rather quiet. We'll have to have a listen to what it's like a little bit later on. Fuel, 0 fuel weight or 0 fuel weight CFG, disagree. Fuel values confirm. Do they? I don't see any issues with what we got. I'm just gonna, I'll clear that. Okay, so engines 1 and 2 are all right. Let's start 3 and 4. Can you hear the fans shutting down in the aircraft? Very quiet in the cabin. We'll have a listen what it's like when we actually add a bit of thrust to the aircraft as we start to move. But anyway, what have we got here? That's new. Well, compared to the other Airbuses, it's in-op anyway. Never mind. So engines 1 and 2, we've got a good engine start. Just waiting for engines 3 and 4.
Mushroom, not for Flight Sim 2020, not yet. Orc Darkwing, those engines are undersized. Yeah, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. So originally they were meant to, when the aircraft was being developed, they were meant to have sort of supersized engines. That fell through. They were meant to be CFMs. That fell through. So now you've basically got 4 320 engines stuck on it, which is why the performance of this aircraft is shocking. They're like 5 APUs, Bombtech, yeah. Nice. Okay, so that's all looking good. I'm happy. Let's do the after engine start. So anti-ice not required. ECAM status is checked and normal. Pitch trim needs to be set to 27.8. Let's have a little look. Where are the figures? Ah. I actually prefer that. You don't have to move because you can see them caps inside. This wheel moves very slowly. This was really out, wasn't it? Look how high we're having to set this. There we go. Pitch trim 27.8 and rudder is neutral. So we'll do a flight control check as well. So automatically changes the screen when you move the flight controls. That's good. So we've got full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, and rudder, full right, rudder, full left, neutral. Nice. No Shadow, you were deciding whether to buy the A350 or whatever. I love the A350. I think it is absolutely brilliant. One of my favourite add-on aircraft. Yeah, so that's all nice. I think we're ready to taxi. Just check we are still on Unicorn. We are. Lovely. Alright, so we're going to taxi out now on where are we? Just push back. So it's going to be Mike then November, isn't it? Zurich traffic Swissair 2802 taxiing now via Mike November Alpha hold Alpha 1 runway 28. Okay, so with that, IPU bleeds. Let's get those off. Don't need them anymore. See what the click spots are like on the overhead. So taxi is on. Auto brake max. We want the predictive wind shear to be. Oh, turn that back on. Predictive wind shear is auto. Weather radar is turned on. And TL config. All good. Right, let's taxi her out then, shall we? Sounds a little bit louder now, but it's still at idle thrust, so I do want to check what it's like when we're actually flying. Before we start moving though, honest opinions, what do you think so far? I can't fault the visual model. I think she looks beautiful. But I do want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the chat. And of course, if you are enjoying the pre-release live stream this afternoon, then do make sure you hit the like button on stream, as it does help. Right, let's fly this very short flight. Having to deliver a little bit of thrust there just to get her moving. I'm very cautious of how big the wings are. This taxi seems a little bit squirrely at the moment. That might be my hardware, but it does just seem to want to pull to the left. I'm just going to do a tiller check with my side stick. It might be me. Might be just a little bit oversensitive. Dark Wind, no, it's a banner that I created.
and it is from Fly Live Studio. It doesn't always work though, it's not actually that reliable. But we are at, I think this is the, this is the handcrafted Zurich airport by Ozobo. Performance is fine. I'm sure you'll agree with this, with that. Not taxiing too quickly. The taxi speed of this holds really nicely. It doesn't seem to be racing away. Sort of once we've got that taxi sort of speed set, I'm not having to do very much. I'm not tapping the brakes or anything. We're just rolling nicely. So it's actually quite nice to taxi this. We're actually on taxiway Echo, aren't we? Not November. November's that little taxiway over there. Never mind. Not that many people here. We're not in the way of anybody. Okay, so just need to check. I may have just missed the turn actually. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. I thought I'd missed the turn. I've not. It's going to be fun, Christian, to see if we clear the mountain. That's the challenge. She doesn't like to turn. She really, I mean, this is quite an acute angle to turn, and yeah, she doesn't like it. But then she doesn't like it in real life, so they've probably nailed that. 707 liner is 28 long enough according to the calculations. Yeah, it's not even telling us to do toga, so I guess we'll find out. No shout out, that's entirely up to you. If you're using the marketplace though, use the sorry, if you're using the website though, use the link in the video description, mate. That's that helps me out, so if you do that, very appreciative. Yeah, we're not very heavy today, so what was our takeoff weight? Just shy of 162 tons, which for this aircraft, it's hardly got any fuel on it. A very empty Zurich this afternoon. There's a couple of people about. But we are going to go right to the end and try not to eat up any tarmac as we are lining up on that runway. She's looking good though. Let's hope she performs. We're flaps 2, 707 liner.
should probably have gone flaps 3. But no, according to the performance, we should get airborne. I feel a bit like a test pilot at the minute. A few stutters creeping in there, but I think that's more to do with the airport than the aircraft. Right, so I don't think anything's coming in. We've got no ATC. I'm just going to have a quick check. Have a look. Yeah, there's nothing, nothing there. So yeah, it's. I think we're good to go. Zurich traffic, Swissair 2802, lining up for departure, runway 28, Febit 4 Whiskey, straight out to the west. Alright, let's light her up. Just the one landing light, which I prefer, because it's always a bit of a pain in the 320. Cabin crew, seats for takeoff.
Cabin crew, take seats for departure.
And we'll leave the packs on, although this aircraft they probably should be turned off, but I did performance checks with them on, so let's see. Okay, so just run through the taxi checklist, which I should have done already, but flight controls, they've been checked. Flap setting is config 2, confirmed. FMAs, we've got 128 blue, 138 magenta, climb blue, 1FD2, 7000 blue, radar and prediction wind shear on engine mode selector is normal. ECAM memo, we've got takeoff, no blue, EFB is stowed. Now the lineup checklist, cabin is secure, takeoff runway is full length, 28, TCAS, TARA and packs 1 and 2 are both on. Right, let's not use too much tarmac and let's see if we hear those engines. Okay, take off, start the chrono. And flex, SRS, auto thrust blue.
V1.
Rotate. Have to rotate steady because you will tail strike this thing. Plenty of space. Positive climb. Gear up. Autopilot 1 engaged. Thrust climb. Climb. Auto thrust. Flaps 1. We're above S speed. Flaps 0. It was painless. The engine sounds definitely need tweaking. I can turn them up on the EFB, but I wanted to leave everything default. Let's have a look. Audio settings. External engine. Oh wow, they're all turned up. I'm going to turn that up to full as well. Maybe they all need turning up. Hope that's not too much. Thrust climb, open climb, and we will set standard pressure 180 blue.
Those engines look ridiculous. What's the audio sound like now, guys? Is my voice okay with the audio? Now I've tweaked that. Christian, I'll double check for you. Oh, interestingly, passenger count, upper, lower, fuel was right. Zero fuel weight does seem to be less than what we planned for, which is interesting. We saw the passengers getting on, didn't we? I wonder why. Oh well, never mind. Can't do anything about that now. Maybe it is cargo. Very strange, very strange. The climb rate at 3,000 feet per minute for this bird is not normal. But then, we are, I mean, just having a quick look, the maximum takeoff weight for this aircraft is about 276 tons. We were over 100 ton less than that today. So, actually, yeah. I'm not surprised it's climbing somewhat normally. I've just turned the volume down a little bit now. Just realised the top banner isn't working either. Let's see if we can get that working. We're about to reach our cruise altitude because, like I said, it is a short flight that we're doing today. Now that's speed and alt cruise. Yeah, Christian, I wonder why that suddenly happened when it seemed to all load and then the passengers fell out. Not sure. Anyway, we'll set TCAS to below. I'm not going to bother touching the cost index.
Cabin crew is seated and ready for takeoff, Captain.
We've got the RadNav, which we didn't touch. Let me just get up the approach chart then for Zurich. So we're in a bit of a rush because of how short the flight is. So ILS 22. Platform altitude is 4,000 feet. Don't know what this thing descends like. Probably descends better than it flies, to be honest. Transition altitude 7,000 feet. So I want to be 7,000 at Saper. which is only there. We're going to be there pretty quickly. So no cabin service on today's flight because of how quick it is. Simon, performance of the aircraft I think is very good. Not seen anything that I don't particularly like about it. Turn the seatbelt signs off for the shortest amount of time. Now, do we actually have a top of descent given to us on here? Yeah, there it is. Look, we're going to be at our cruising altitude for about 5 minutes today, which is fine. Not even long enough for an in-flight movie. See you later, J-Hog. Puppy, I'm not sure about the price. It's not known to us, I'm afraid. Guess we'll find out in due course. Jordan, I'm not sure what the 600 have, but this is, yeah, this is very, very small engines. Like I said a couple of times, it's like the, it's like having 4 A320 engines, isn't it? So we're just going to check the flight plan. SAPA, we should have 7,000 hard-coded, which we do, and that's great. Elevate and Aviate, thank you for the follow. Alright, so that is top of descent. Honestly, cannot believe that this was actually flown in real life with a 340 this route. Okay, and speed and descent 70 blue, down we go. For those asking about the price, I'm afraid I do not know how much it is, I'm afraid. Right, so we've got the yo-yos in purple. I'm not sure if that's normal or not. I presume so. I don't know the 340 well enough. Let's have a look and see how we're doing. So we're below the profile by about 600 feet. That's fine. Bit of a VDEV test, this. But yeah, in terms of its sort of flyability, I mean, Across the Pond has been cancelled, hasn't it? Across the Pond eastbound, which is a real shame because actually I could quite see enjoying a full long-haul flight in this thing. Uh, 707 liner was a quick hop to Geneva to pick up passengers. I don't think so, no. I don't know if it was a COVID thing. In fact, no, it can't have been, because it was 2024 they flew this. And I'm sure it was a domestic hop scheduled with passengers, so I have no idea. Somebody, I'm sure, will be able to research it out and discover what it was all about, I'm sure.
This may be the shortest flight we've ever done on stream as well, which in this aircraft is ridiculous. Cabin crew, 20 minutes to landing.
Okay, cabin crew. Take seats for landing. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now departing from this cabin. Please ensure that your seatbelts are fastened, your seats are in position.
It's actually holding that. I'm just watching the video. It's actually doing very, very well with that. Very well indeed. Okay, so we're going to activate the approach phase. Start slowing the jet down. I'm going to pop her into open descent. Might need some speed brakes for this, actually. Oh, I can hear that wind now. You can hear the speed brake effect. India Sierra Whiskey is identified. That's a flight we've not, an aircraft we've not flown for a while. Bombtech, the A300. That's a really cool aircraft. The father of the Airbus. Seatbelt signs back on. And the approach checklist. So barrel ref QNH is 1021. Seatbelt signs are on. Minimum is 1570. Auto brake low. And the engine mode selector is normal. EFB is stowed. Okay, reducing speed 210. Lovely weather over Geneva tonight, so it should be a gorgeous approach. Looking forward to that. We're nicely below that profile, so let's get the speed brakes away. Don't need those anymore. And as we pick up Sapper, we're pretty much bang in line with the runway. I told you we hardly had to turn for this flight, which is indeed true. So I do apologise, it's been a short flight, but a couple of hours streaming in the afternoon, which is nice and rare. So really hope you have enjoyed it, and curious to hear what you guys think about the aircraft. If you have enjoyed the stream, of course, please don't forget to hit that like button. And of course then there's our EasyJet SimPilot discount code on the screen for the Contrail store. And channel partner IniBuilds link down below. Check we are still on Unicom, which we are, and I don't think there's any ATC about. There isn't. Geneva traffic, Swissair 2802, 12 miles east of Sapper, inbound ILS runway 22.
just going to keep that descent going down now. 5,000 blue. In fact, we can't do that. We need to hold 7,000 feet. It's 7,000 feet at SAPA. So we'll hold that, and we're just going to level off a little bit before SAPA, which is fine because that just gives us time to bleed off a bit of airspeed. Get the lights back on. Can you imagine actually being a passenger on this flight in real life? Shortest hop ever. And that's speed alt star. Glide slope, lock blue, cat 3, dual, autopilot 1 and 2. Lock start. GG811 is about 5,000 feet. Cheers there. Just looking, have we got the glide slope in? We've not picked that up yet, but we are about 23 miles out, so that's not surprising. And glide slope star is active. Just waiting to see that glide slope, actually. Missed approach altitude 7,000 feet anyway. Should I be concerned? Alright, who's landing in Geneva on 04? Without comms. Geneva is definitely runway 22 in real life. No, they're definitely going down, Sean. I have just noticed something. I have just noticed something. Right, I'm going to disconnect. They are landing on the wrong runway, but the radio is not linked to VATSIM yet, so I'm coming off of VATSIM because otherwise that's just going to cause chaos. Flaps 1, speed's checked. I wanted to get flaps 1 out sooner than that. I've just gotten distracted, which is a bit of a shame. Let's start reducing that speed. Maybe that is a pre-release bug. Because obviously it is all turned on, etc. Although we should have still been transmitting. No, it isn't. I hadn't got it turned on. Oh well, that's why. It really was cold and dark. It's now turned on. Bombtech, it's actually holding the glide slope very well. I will blame pilot monitoring. Yeah, he handles comms, not me. I'm pilot flying. What a gorgeous, gorgeous
approach. Everybody loves the Geneva approach. FYI though, if you ever are flying into Geneva and the winds are reported that look like they're using runway 04, maybe winds are something like 040 at 4 knots, so you think, oh well, yeah, it's going to be runway 04. It is not. Geneva always use 22 until the winds get up to about something like 10 knots. It's in the airport notes. So runway 22 can still be used, and you're going to be landing with a tailwind. 22 is definitely preferential, Christian. You are right. I'm pretty certain of that.
2,500.
Flaps 2, speed's checked. Speed is not good. Come on, slow down. Right, landing gear. That will get us down. Why aren't we slowing down? I don't actually know how to fly the 340. Clearly this needs configuring much sooner than the 320. Flaps 2. Flaps 3. Oh, go around at Geneva's no fun, especially in this thing. And flaps full. Landing checklist. Cabin is secured. Go around altitude 7,000 feet. Eco memo. We've got landing and waiting for the cabin. Cabin crew, seats for landing. Tailwind component up to 4 knots. Oh, that's less than I thought, Christian, but yeah.
1,000.
2 normally. Right, 1,000 feet. Let's see if we can slam her in. Couldn't have picked better weather for our first flight, could we? Stable. She is flying like quite a heavy jet compared to the 320. She's very stable. Definitely need to adjust my settings though, because there's a delay in my inputs.
Minimum.
Continue. 4 white, not particularly happy with that.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
And we're down inside the touchdown zone. So we've got spoilers deployed, reverse green, decel, reverse is off. We'll have a look at the replay as well shortly, see what that actually looked like. Manual brakes. That was one of those landings where the ground comes up to meet us. Guys, welcome to Geneva. Doesn't she look pretty? So we're just going to go and pull on stand, I think. Clean our aircraft up, get the lights off. TCAS off and turn off all the weather radars so we don't fry the ground crew and they can still have kids. Sean, which Geneva scenery is that? 1 minute, I will be able to tell you. Let me just pull on stand. I've not got GSX loaded though, so this probably won't work correctly. It's telling me to stop already. There we go. Parking brakes set. Let's get the APU running and we'll deplane. Okay, so there's a full short flight in its operational capacity. What do you guys think? Let me just sort of stop the flight here on Elevatex. I don't know where we parked. I think it was stand 19. Continue that. Complete. You wanted to know what scenery this was. It is Jetstream's scenery. Yeah, Jetstream's. So, oh, I've got the blind down. Oh, there we go. I have to get it back up then. So just get that running. Then we'll shut the engines down. We'll get GSX to deplane everything. But yeah, what? It's not a plane that everybody is going to want to use. I get that. Remember that, of course, this is the pre-release version. It's not the release version. I've left the cabin door open. That's probably why there were no passengers on. We're not allowed to fly with that open. But I don't know. I quite like it. It's something different. And being a commercial airliner geek, yeah, I actually really like it. I quite enjoy doing some long hauls in this. My absolute favourite long haul aircraft at the moment is the 350. I just think that is absolutely superb. IniBuilds done a grand job with that. Let me just shut the engines down. I love the. It's not just the aircraft itself, but it's sort of how you've got all the screens laid out, and everything is very ergonomic in the 350 as to how it works. This is obviously still very much 330, 320 kinds of ways of operating. I agree with the sounds, 707 liner. The sounds they need boosting, if anything else. That is exactly what they need. They definitely need a boost because it sounds like the quietest aircraft ever, doesn't it? Let's see if we can get a GSX deboarding going off. Let's have a look. Is that going to work? No. Alright, well, perhaps we can request deboarding there. We'll go to Swissport. Hopefully that should work and we'll see what happens. Where's the jetway gone? Wasn't there a jetway there a minute ago? Oh, I don't know. But yeah, I do. I think it's a very, very nice looking aircraft. Very nice looking aircraft. So no complaints there. GSX seems to work well with it already. It comes with a SimBrief profile. Remember, it is pre-released, so any bugs we've sort of encountered are most likely bugs of either the pre-release or the pilot. That's quite an important thing, actually. The fact I didn't even notice I'd not got the radio turned on. I'd not got it set to transmit and receive. So first time you are flying this, make sure. What on earth's going on here? Oh, okay. Right. Okay then. Well, we'll just ignore that. But yeah, I do. It is iconic, Christian. That is the perfect perfect word for it. Rail Cowgirl, you can insert radiuses on the 350. I can't remember how to do it unless I'm sat in the aircraft. But yes, you can do it. It's on the screen that as you're looking at, it's over here somewhere. Yeah, I'm really sorry. Can't remember how to do that. without looking at it, because it's I don't think it's called Fix Info page. Hey, Lemon Wolf. But yeah, that's our little pre-release flight. So hopefully enough to give you a tease there of what it's all about. Is it one you're going to be purchasing? Well, you guys will have to let me know. I like it. I know that it's kind of got to have a meaning to you, I think, as to whether you're going to buy it or not, because there's plenty of other aircraft that do just the same, but it is that iconic aircraft with a terrible climb rate and awful turn radius, everything that we love about iconic planes. So there you are, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We will be doing a bit of a recap review video a little bit later on, but thanks for joining us on this live stream, and if you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit the like button on stream. Remember, of course, as well, we do have our discount code down below. There's a link to IniBuilds as well down in that video description as an affiliate link, so massive thanks to everyone who uses that to purchase their IniBuilds scenery and aircraft, of course. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, a Friday afternoon stream, which is rare at the best of times, isn't it? So thank you for joining us on that. Looking forward to seeing you all again very soon. And in case anyone was wondering, no, we've not yet moved house, and I'm starting to loathe solicitors. Sorry if any of you are housing solicitors out there. If you are, get in touch. I need a new one. Have a great weekend, guys. Look forward to seeing you all again soon. Bye bye.